For centuries, the Western world looked at the map of Africa and saw nothing. A land of myth and monsters. But behind the Sahara's wall of sand, a 1,000-mile fortress of shifting heat, a secret empire was flourishing that would make the Roman Empire look like a startup. He wasn't just the richest man of his time, he is arguably the richest human to ever draw breath. But his wealth wasn't built on stocks or software. It was built on a hidden formula that was so powerful, it allowed him to do something no war ever could. He broke the global economy simply by going on vacation. To understand how one man could hold so much power, you have to look at the hidden layers of his empire.
Mali wasn't just lucky, it was a monopoly. Musa sat on top of the world's two most vital commodities, gold and salt. In the 14th century, gold was the heartbeat of global trade. But in the sweltering heat of the African interior, gold couldn't keep you alive. Salt could. Humans need salt to survive, and in the southern mines, it was so rare that it was traded 1-for-1 with gold. Musa protected this formula with a system known as the silent trade. Merchants from the north would bring slabs of salt to the riverbanks, beat a drum, and retreat. The miners would emerge, leave an amount of gold they felt was fair, and vanish. Not a single word was ever spoken. No one was allowed to see the mines. If you tried to follow the miners, you didn't come back. By controlling the information layer of where the gold came from, Musa ensured that he, and only he, was the bridge between the world's hunger for gold and the desert's hunger for salt. He wasn't just a king. He was the world's first global gatekeeper. And he was about to open the gates. Crossing the Sahara isn't a trip. It's a battle against a sun that wants to kill you and a landscape that never ends. Now imagine trying to move an entire city across it. Musa didn't just travel with a guard. He traveled with an army of 60,000 men. Imagine a line of people stretching further than the eye can see. 12,000 of them were his personal servants, and every single one was draped in the finest Persian silks. In their hands, ornate staffs made of solid, shining gold. But the true weight of the empire was carried by 80 camels. Each one was loaded with 300 pounds of pure, raw gold dust. To any other ruler, this would be a target for every bandit in the desert. To Musa, it was just luggage. Here is the hidden layer of his devotion. Tradition says that every Friday, no matter where the caravan was, even in the dead center of the dunes, Musa ordered a new mosque to be built on the spot where he stopped to pray. He wasn't just passing through the desert, he was physically changing the map of Africa as he walked. When the caravan finally descended upon Cairo, the city didn't just see a king. They saw a god of gold. Musa was received by the Sultan of Egypt with the highest honors. But Musa wasn't interested in politics. He was interested in generosity. He began to spend, and spend, and spend. Musa handed out gold nuggets to beggars like they were breadcrumbs. He gifted massive bars of gold to every official and mosque in the city. He flooded the local markets, buying up every luxury, every spice, and every piece of art he could find. But there is a hidden law in economics. Scarcity is value. By dumping tons of gold into a single city, Musa accidentally committed an act of economic warfare. The markets were paralyzed. Because gold was now everywhere, it became worth nothing. Prices for basic food items like bread and oil skyrocketed by 500%. For the next 12 years, the entire Middle East would suffer from a massive inflationary depression. Musa hadn't fired a single arrow, but his vacation had brought a regional superpower to its knees. As Musa prepared to leave Cairo, he realized something terrifying. His generosity had become a curse. The city was in ruins, not from fire, but from gold. He had effectively deleted the wealth of his allies. This is where Musa's wealth formula took its most desperate turn. He decided to do something no king had ever done before, and and few have attempted since. He tried to manually stabilize the global economy. On his return journey, Musa began borrowing. He went back to the very merchants he had gifted gold to and started taking it back at incredibly high interest rates. To the merchants, it looked like a profitable deal, but to Musa, it was a tactical withdrawal. By physically pulling his gold out of the Egyptian markets and carrying it back across the Sahara, he was reducing the supply. He was forcing the value of the remaining gold to rise, trying to jumpstart the economy he had accidentally flatlined. It was the world's first recorded central bank intervention, executed by a single man on a camel. Musa returned to Mali, not just with stories, but with the world's greatest minds. He brought back architects from Andalusia and scholars from Cairo. He didn't just build palaces, he built Timbuktu, a city that would become the myth of the medieval world. At its height, the University of Sankore housed 25,000 students. While Europe was struggling to teach its nobility to read, West Africa was producing astronomers, mathematicians, and poets.
So, why was this story buried? 168 years after Musa's journey, Columbus sailed for the Americas, and the global focus shifted. To justify the centuries of exploitation that followed, the hidden layer of African excellence had to be erased. The king with the golden orb was replaced by a narrative of darkness. But the manuscripts of Timbuktu are still there, the mosque still stands, and the wealth formula, the understanding that true power isn't just in having gold, but in knowing how to control its flow, proves that Mansa wasn't just a rich man on a vacation. He was the architect of a world we are only now starting to rediscover.